Hey everyone, happy Monday! So this is a continuation of the childhood snacks series of ice creams that we started with Dunkaroos. This one was a suggestion / request from Amber, and we are going to make Rice Krispie Treat ice cream. So I am starting with my normal amount of liquids, 1 cup of whole milk, 1 cup of heavy cream, and that's where the deviation begins. So Rice Krispie Treats do have butter. We have to add that. I figure, what's the worst that could happen? Which is probably, famous last words. And instead of sugar, I have 2/3 of a cup of marshmallow topping. Now, because this is maybe not a 1-to-1 replacement for sugar, we will have to give it a little taste before we chill in the fridge, just to make sure that we have that right level of sweetness. And I'm gonna throw that over medium heat, and I just want it to start steaming. That is steaming. The butter is melted. I can tell that there's no clumps of our marshmallow cream. So anytime I'm doing a cereal ice cream, I like to steep some of the cereal in the milk. So that's about a 1/2 cup of Rice Krispies, and we'll cover it and let that steep for about 20 minutes. All right, 20 minutes in, and our Rice Krispies are well steeped, and let's get these strained out. Now, because we don't want to waste any of that liquid, we'll just push on the back of these Rice Krispies with our spoon. Try and drive out as much of that liquid as we can. This would be a good time to add about a teaspoon of vanilla bean paste. And we can also add the pinch of salt that we forgot before. And the remaining 1 cup of heavy cream. And let's see where we are as far as sweetness. So I think we could use some more. I've got maybe a 1/4 cup left in this jar. I'll probably just go ahead and add all of it. And we'll go ahead and lid that up and put it in the fridge to age and chill. Okay, Rice Krispie Treats ready to go. And we'll go ahead and churn for probably 20 minutes, I think, on this one. But we'll see. There's a lot of sugar in there from the marshmallow cream. It could be 40 or 45 minutes. We'll just have to wait and see. Now that we're at soft serve, I've got about a 1/2 cup of Rice Krispies that I have frozen in the freezer, because that's where we freeze things. It's interesting how that works. And we'll just go ahead and pour those in. Just don't want them to get soggy. Let's get this into our containers, and while we're doing that, we all know about Snap, Crackle, and Pop, but did you know that in the 50s there was a 4th brother named Pow? Fun fact. All right, lid on, RKT for Rice Krispie Treats, and into the freezer it goes. It is time to taste our Rice Krispie Treat ice cream. Now, I haven't actually tasted this yet myself, but I did take it to trivia earlier in the week, and I came home with none. I'm glad I left one behind for myself for the tasting today. So you do see we've got some Rice Krispies in there. They kind of blend in a little bit, but they're in there. Let's see. Oh my goodness, that is good. So in the ice cream itself, I do get the Rice Krispie flavor. Obviously the marshmallow flavor really stands out, since that's what we used entirely for our sugar. The Rice Krispies that we added at the end are still a little crunchy. They're not as crunchy as I would like, just a touch soggy, but that's okay. I don't get the butter. I know I mentioned adding some butter, just because there's butter in Rice Krispie Treats, but the butter does not stand out to me at all. It might be one of those things that if it's not there, you would miss it, but it does taste a lot like a Rice Krispie Treat, which is quite pleasant. I do enjoy some Rice Krispie Treats. This is definitely one that I will make again. So this may be the last ice cream video for a little bit, partially because trivia is over, so I don't have a good place to go get rid of all of this ice cream that I make. but also I will be moving in a couple of weeks, so all of that stuff really needs to get packed away. I do have a few videos filmed already that hopefully I can get the chance to edit, but if not, I hope you're still around when I get back. And until next time, have a great day. Bye.